If you need to get back at someone who happens to own an in-ground pool, chuck a mattress in there. They'll need a crane to remove it. It'll weigh about the same as a small elephant. Not only is it such a random thing to find in your pool, but the pool will either need to be drained to get it out, or a crane will have to be rented to get it out. This is a surprisingly good prank to get back at someone. Surprisingly. I never thought about that. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be having a look at r/illegal life pro tips, a place for pro tips that are illegal. I don't know, really. This is going to be an interesting one. Before we begin, disclaimer, none of this is to be taken seriously. Don't do any of the things mentioned in this video. It's all for laughs. No, don't be a criminal. Don't commit crime. Now let's take a look at some illegal life pro tips. Pad your resume with jobs from companies that don't exist anymore. It's simple. Don't want to admit that you didn't have a job for years, went to prison, or had only low-paying jobs? Look up companies that went bankrupt or are otherwise defunct nowadays that still operated at the time your resume needs improvement, and make up a position you held in it. There will be nobody to contact to verify your claims. It's true. Honestly, guys. This is coming from a CEO at Blockbuster. You can definitely do this. But genuinely, I think people do actually do this, and like it's true that they just cannot verify that you don't have the experience you claim to have. It might be worth doing a little bit of research into the job just so that you know you can do it before you lie about having done it, in case it's ever needed. But yeah, like who's gonna know? But I mean, definitely don't do this. It's illegal, it's fraud. But if you don't have stamps, just put the actual address you want it to go to as the return address. Yeah, again, I never would have thought of that. Don't do that because it is illegal. I think once again this is classified as fraud, so don't do that. But I read the comments and multiple people said it works. They said it might take a while, but they did say it works. But don't do it, right? YouTube, right? If you're listening in on this, YouTube, don't do crime. It's bad. I'm not encouraging crime in this video. I'm saying things that are illegal so that you know not to do them. That's how that works. The Dominican Republic 10 peso coin, valued at 0.27 Canadian dollars, looks very similar to the Canadian toonie, a $2 coin, and will typically not be noticed in cash transactions. Use them interchangeably. You know, I think it would depend on the transaction. Like, I feel like if you are doing something private with like a Facebook marketplace sale or something, they're probably gonna look at the money you give them. But honestly, if you're in a supermarket, like how often is a supermarket cashier actually going to scrutinize a coin you give them? They're just gonna take it and put it straight in the cash register. So I do feel like this would work. 100% illegal though. I mean, this is illegal life pro tips, so like they're all gonna be illegal, so don't do any of these, but like that would probably work.
Can confirm, as someone who has worked as a cashier, I have put many euros in as £1 coins.
So this one is a really weird one. Request: how to illegally win a game of tug of war. So you're probably wondering why I want to illegally win a game of tug of war. So let me explain. There's this man who lives in my neighborhood. He's in his late 30s and is a bit jacked, dare I say, but he throws all of his leftover food in our yard. This isn't even because it's convenient. He lives 3 houses away. He only does this because of the time my grandma was rude to him. I won't go into further details. It's a long story. I have apologized multiple times for her actions, but he won't stop. The other day, I confronted him again, and he said that if I could beat him in a game of tug of war, he would stop. I would play fair game, but he's a dipshit, and I don't want to. Plus, he's jacked. Are there any ways that I can illegally win a game of tug of war? Preferably ways that will injure him. Thanks. Update. I ignored everyone who told me not to participate in the tug of war with him, and I stuck pins in his side of the rope. He fell and called me a cunt. I bought a shit ton of toothpicks and threw them into his yard afterwards. Then I threw in some spoons for good measures. I also bought a camera just in case he tries to throw anything in my yard again. So like, I read the comments on this one, and most of them were just like, just buy a camera and like film him doing it, and then you can tell the police, which would have been the easiest resolution to this whole thing, which is how they ended this. They did the tug of war and then ended this. Also, a comment said, like, if you cheat in tug of war, he's clearly not gonna honor the fact that you won the game and is gonna continue to do it. But like, what? This whole altercation is so weird. We have two adults who are having an altercation where one guy's throwing garbage in another guy's lawn, and they went, let's have a tug of war to resolve our issues. A 30-year-old man suggested a tug of war to resolve issues, and the other person was like, I'm gonna cheat. This whole altercation is so weird. Grab a reusable bag as soon as you walk into a store if you forgot one. I don't know why this pro tip is marked as NSFW. It just is. When you first walk into a store, before you start shopping, go to where they have reusable bags, usually near the checkout. Grab as many as you will need. As soon as you shop, put your items into the reusable bags. When you check out, reuse those bags. They will assume you brought them with you. Update: I should mention I live in a state that has a ban on paper and plastic bags at grocery stores. The government just shifted the bill for bags from businesses to consumer. Every item in the supermarket is still packaged in plastic. So really, what are we doing here? I can probably say this would work. Once again, should you do it? I don't know. Like, all of these are like, you probably not. They're illegal. But also, do big supermarkets really deserve your money for reusable bags? Like, probably not. Like, I'm not going to encourage anyone to do this. In fact, you shouldn't do this. However, if you want to, that's how. If you want a copy of Windows, try looking for keys on various laptops, desktops, especially those in libraries. Just load up a copy of Windows onto a USB, boot to it, and enter the product key you find. That would probably work. However, responses in the comments, someone said, the top comment in fact said, or you could just use the Microsoft activation scripts found here and get Windows activated on any version in seconds. The real illegal pro tips is always in the comments. The real illegal pro tips are the friends we made along the way. Yeah, you should pay for Windows. However, you don't have to. I mean, legally, I have to say that you have to pay for Windows, but perchance, if you didn't want to buy Windows 10 or 11, perhaps sail the high seas, if you will. Use international numbers for customer service, specifically airlines. The main hotline for US airlines will be clogged with other passengers getting rebooked. To get through to an agent quickly, call any one of the airline's dozens of international offices. Agents can handle your reservation just like US-based ones can, but there's virtually no wait to get through. I don't think this one's illegal. I think this might just be a pro-life tip. Like, unless it's illegal to call an international number. Like, I'm not sure how this one's illegal. I think this one's just a pro tip. Like, hey, just call another country and they'll sort it for you. Like, okay, that one works. I don't think you'd even get in trouble for that one. And the final post. Sew a handcuff key into the collar of your shirt. When you get handcuffed, just rip it out with your teeth and escape. Right, I have questions with this one. This goes on the premise that police handcuffs use the same key, which for a long time they have. However, I believe recently, I don't know how recently, like within the last 5 years or so, maybe longer, some police like sectors, what's the word? In some cities in the UK and some states in America, police have moved away from using a universal key based on the fact that it's a really terrible idea if you're trying to handcuff someone that they can just buy a universal key. Like in places that they still use those keys, this would work, but in some places it perhaps wouldn't. A better idea would be to keep a shim on you, because you can shim the handcuffs and you'll be more likely to shim both types of handcuffs, whereas a key will only work on one type. Not that I'm recommending you try and escape from the police, but my favorite part about the post isn't like if you get handcuffed, it's when you get handcuffed. Like, this person is saying, you will get handcuffed, and when you do, here's how to escape. It's just the certainty behind it. I just like that. I find that kind of amusing. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed. I don't know if this video is going to get demonetized or not, because it possibly could. Who knows? I haven't technically advocated for crime, so like, I haven't broken any of YouTube's rules. I'm just saying, like, here's some crimes and you shouldn't do them, and this is here's some crimes and how not to to commit them. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to support my content, if this does get demonetized, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click the join button on my channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Special thank you to all of my YouTube members and patrons who do support the channel. All of your names are on screen. You are all wonderful, amazing people. Thank you all so much. It means so much. I hope you have enjoyed this video, everybody. I found this quite a funny one, so if this does well, I'll definitely do more videos on it. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.